Hi guys, welcome back to No Color Entertainment. This is Matt.
This is Ariane.
And we have some special guests here today.
Yeah, we do.
First off, and this is in no particular order, first off is Juicy B.
Yo!
He has joined us for a few streams in the past. You might remember him from some gameplay. We also have a brand newcomer, Atlas.
How's everybody doing?
And now, a very special guest. Star Wars fanatics, and we have referenced them 1,000 times on this channel. Chris and Jessica are here with us.
Hello, everybody.
Stabbing triangle.
Yes, the ones that will repeatedly bash us for our skill or lack thereof of Resident Evil the original.
Our copious, wasteful use of ammo and resources that have now doomed that game. Having either restarted or never finished.
I tried to tell you.
Yes,
so, thank you for joining us. This is our spoiler-free version of The Last Jedi.
Yes.
We will be doing a spoiler-filled theory discussion podcast that everyone can jump in on and feel free to join us with. But for now, we're just going to do quick reviews from everyone with scores and whether or not you should go see it. So, Juicy, go ahead and start.
Alright, now first of which, forewarning, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a film expert or expert critic. When I go to a movie, I go to experience it, and I just go off of raw emotion. Now, for me, I have watched the entire Star Wars franchise within this past week, all the way through. I've been excited for this movie for a long time, and I have to say that it did not disappoint me. There were moments in the movie theater where I was punching Matt in the arm.
I have a bruise.
Yeah.
I have a bruise. Because they were not, this was not, oh, hey, look at this punches. This was, oh my God, I'm going to break your arm because I'm so excited.
This was Star Wars. This felt like Star Wars, and for me, there were so many good points in the movie. I can't really. For me, really, I have no real negatives because I don't know how else to critique it. But there were a lot of jaw dropping moments for me, which obviously I can't get into at this time. That's going to be in the spoiler review, but I have to say that I very much enjoyed this movie. Out of 10. Out of 10, this is gonna be hard. I've never given a movie a perfect 10. So for me, I'm going to give this like a 9.75, only because for me, I don't know what a perfect movie is. This was great. This movie was phenomenal. This had me on the edge of my seat at one point, and my jaw literally dropped during a couple points in the movie. So I'm going to give it a 9.75. That's for me. Everyone else is entitled to their opinions. If you didn't like this movie, you can go fuck yourself. Simple as that.
Before Alex goes, I do want to just jump in real fast because you said he would correct you.
There is...
Mostly that, as I recall, walking out and watching Force Awakens, you actually gave that movie a 10.
That is true. That is very true. Now, what?
There was also 10 years of no Star Wars and nostalgia talking.
Exactly. That in my defense was exactly that, because we had gone so long without a good Star Wars movie.
Oh, that's like 40 years in the making.
Stop. But again, that was a lot of emotion and nostalgia coming in, that I couldn't help but give it a perfect score. Now, after watching the whole franchise recently, I have to just drop my score just a little bit on this, but it's still a very great movie. It was worth the time. I'd go watch it again.
Okay, Atlas.
I'll be honest. My score is around like a 8.75, only because there's one scene that really ground my gears. We'll get into it later. But man, this movie, it did not disappoint.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I have to say, I sat there the whole time. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, there was a moment where the theater goes completely silent,
yes,
and I just hear Atlas on the other side like, what the fuck with a little toddler kid sitting in front of us. No editor whatsoever.
To that kid's parent, I'm so sorry.
If that kid's listening out there, we apologize.
By the way, if there are children listening to this, you're gonna need parental guidance.
Yeah, we don't listen to those YouTube censoring rules. Fuck them, free speech motherfuckers.
We're not getting paid for this anyway, so that's part
Yeah,
of it.
so
Also,
deal
there's
with it.
people listening to this because it's, well, at least right now it's like 12 o'clock, but at midnight. But also, stop watching. I want news, but you really shouldn't be watching.
Just go watch Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Chris.
All right. Well, I thought it started off really, really strong, and I was really hooked. And I think that JJ went a long way towards making sure that it was funny and that it subverted a lot of tropes. That said, and I think I'm going to be the most negative person here on this, I really loved it, and I want to give it an 8, but we'll talk about more of that later.
So what's your score then?
An 8.
An 8. Okay, we're going to give it an 8.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie compared to all other movies. I'm not sure it's one of the best Star Wars movies.
Fair enough.
Okay. And now, the one I am most terrified of, Miss Jessica.
Unjustly, I definitely liked the movie more than Chris Makaitis. I would agree that there is a trope that is used in Star Wars films often, and it was used repeatedly in this one. That's my major complaint, and that is spoiler-free, but it's just that this is the last blink, and we have to protect it, save it to complete a mission, or to save ourselves, or whatever. Leaning way too heavily on that. But that being said, I really loved this movie. I agree the intro was fantastic. I will say that I cried from joy, I cried from sadness, and I cried just about every time Carrie Fisher was on screen because I miss her dearly.
Rest
She
in
is
peace,
our
Carrie
princess.
Fisher.
Rest in
Yes,
peace.
rest in
R.I.P.
peace. But overall, I would give this a solid 8.3.
All right. I'll go. All right. So I have loved Star Wars all my life. I even have some space in my heart for the prequels, which we're going to try to stay away from in this review. Saying that, I went into this movie expecting something. I'm like, I know Star Wars, and I know this, and this, and this, and this are going to happen. None of it fucking happened. And all I'm going to say is the balls on Rian Johnson to do what he did.
Hashtag the balls. On
These
social media.
bronze brass monstrosities
Clang, clang.
of testicles that this man must have
The
to
grapefruits.
pull this off.
The grapefruits.
And because of that, and I don't do this willy-nilly, and I'm not doing this just because it's Star Wars, but because of the balls he had and the creative direction he took and the leaps of faith he took and his trust in the Star Wars fans, I'm giving it a 10.
Wow.
10.
Perfect score.
Yeah.
First 10 on the panel.
And we're going to end on my note, which is an 8.5. I enjoyed it. I think it was a fun movie. I think it's something that everyone should watch. But like Chris and Jessica, I felt that there are a lot of use of tropes. I'm actually blanking on what happened in the very beginning of the movie because it seemed to me that that's actually where they kind of lost me. It wasn't like they weren't able to get me at some point later on. It's just that there was some way where like the scene and the dialogues were being set up that I disliked. And it is spoiler free, so I can't go into it anyway, which is perfect. So hopefully people will remind me in the spoiler heavy version, just exactly what it was. And maybe I'm wrong and misinterpreted it, and that's fine too. But in general, though, the visuals in this movie were phenomenal. The acting, direction, and everything was on point. The use of music,
And lack of music.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah, no,
That's a great point.
And the use of music, and when they choose not to use music, like that was
Well done.
Really, well done is just putting it mildly.
There were a couple times I looked over and I caught you with your mouth wide open.
Yeah, there were a few. There were absolutely a few. No, yeah, that was like just that was absolutely my face. You can't see them, but that's absolutely what my face was. But yeah, that being said, I would give it an 8.5. I can't give it a 9. I can't give it any higher than that. I could actually go lower, but I feel like in all fairness, this was still a fantastic movie. I feel like I have to watch it again to really get a good sense of how I'm going to ultimately end up feeling about this movie. Especially in the context of the rest of the
and we will watch it again.
Well, and I think when we dig in later,
absolutely,
my score might end up going up once I hear other people's perspective on it.
No, yeah, and that's really the thing, and that's why we have that spoiler full discussion to see if anyone's opinions change, because everyone has a different opinion of movies, what they like about movies, and sometimes they make good points.
No, absolutely.
So that's where we're going next, but I think it's safe to say it's an average of 8.5, 8.75,
I would think
somewhere in there.
Somewhere around the high end of the 8 spectrum.
Yeah, so that sounds like the average. So even at an average of 8.75, 8.5, this is a movie that you really have to go see.
Especially if you're a Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah, this is a necessity.
Absolutely.
Like, there's some people who will say that you don't have to watch the prequels.
I will say that. Jessica says, yeah, no, don't waste your time with this.
and it's true. You don't have to.
But every movie that's come out since Force Awakens feels like a necessity.
Yep.
No, absolutely. Especially
every Star Wars fan should see.
Especially considering the direction that they're going in, is leading up into leading up into Episode 9, whatever the title is, to be determined. They've been doing a phenomenal job since they brought the franchise back to life. Force Awakens, like, I came out of it just like, I need more.
Oh yeah.
And then
JJ's great at that.
Absolutely. And I came out, and coming out of this movie, I was just like, I came out just as excited, and still, I need more.
I'm ready for that final chapter. I am ready tomorrow. I am ready.
The question on my mind, as well as I'm assuming as well as everyone else's, is how does this end?
Right.
Oh, that's what we're going to get into the spoiler discussion. Because honestly, right now I could say I don't fucking know.
It took such a left turn. I go, what about the finish? Like, wait a minute.
And part of it was spoiled for me, but it didn't ruin the movie.
No, absolutely not.
But I'll talk about that in the spoiler. So thank you for joining us for this one. I'm sorry, did you want to add something?
Just one question. Did you guys watch it in 3D?
No.
So we did, and I would recommend not watching it in 3D.
I would,
I can always see a couple of moments where that would be even useful.
Not to mention, like, for me personally, 3D, like, gives me a headache.
Yeah.
But this is a movie that is so beautifully shot.
Ryan Johnson.
You don't need it. You don't
need Ryan fucking Johnson.
Not even for this.
The colors. The use of color.
Okay, wait, okay, we're getting into spoiler territory. All right, so thank you for joining us for No Car Entertainment. Juicy's here.
Yo.
Atlas is here. Yep. Chris joined us. Jessica joined us. Matt and Ariane, we're out.
Bye.
Take it easy.